Well, it's Monday again. Happy Monday. Back to the old grind. Let's get to my low behind the act of kindness because I need to talk about last night's episode of Rick and Morty. I do, but before I get into that again, low behind the act of kindness. So much to my chagrin, major shout out and congratulations to Spain for winning the World Cup. If you saw my short yesterday, then you know I pulled an audible saying, like, all throughout the tournament I thought Spain was going to win, but at the last second I said Argentina was going to win. I let my heart think instead of my head. So, yeah, that's my low. I predicted wrong. Congratulations, Spain. And, I mean, honestly, I should have seen the writing on the wall when in the game itself. Seriously, Spain had 19 shots on goal versus Argentina's none. Yeah, that, that happened. What's my high? My high is I got to see my family yesterday. Got to spend some time with them a little bit, as well as watching yesterday's episode of Rick and Morty. And my act of kindness was I helped my parents watch my nephews. I held the door for some people yesterday as I was out and about. And I completed a favor for someone yesterday as well. So yeah. Yesterday was a good day. Of course, again, you know, it's funny, like, I knew I was going to talk about today's episode of Rick and Morty going into yesterday, just because, I mean, sometimes I already know what tomorrow's video is going to be. But for the life of me, I swear there was something else I was going to talk about today. I can't remember what it is. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is at all. And watch, it's going to hit me later when, you know, I least expect it. But you know what? That's fine. I can talk about Rick and Morty because I pretty much made no secret that I love this season of Rick and Morty so far. I mean, every single episode has been, you know, I'm going to say some internet slang, a certified banger. They've all been certified bangers every episode. Last night's episode was no different. However, if you were to ask me right now which episode in season 9 was the funniest, yeah, I would say it was this one. I mean, you have to understand from my point of view, because I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s in which stoner comedies were really the thing. And for all intents and purposes, they still exist. You just don't really see them that often anymore. Like, truly the last great stoner comedy that I ever saw was Pineapple Express. So that should give you a brief rundown of my life in terms of when I grew up. And yeah, the idea of, you know, a couple otherwise rational and smart people, you know, taking drugs. Yeah. Shenanigans ensue, and I mean, there's something, for context, Morty and Summer have been, like, really bad in school. thanks to all of Rick's sci-fi shenanigans. So they send them to a camp that's supposed to re-educate teens and put them on the right path, even though they don't really do that. In fact, the students took over the camp. The kids took over the camp and killed all the counselors, which is already dark. But Morty and Beth are like, for the first time in years, we actually have the house to ourselves. Immediately they run to Summer's room because she's a teenager. She has to have drugs. Before I continue, I would like to point out, and this probably won't be the only time I say this, if you are going to take drugs recreationally, please be careful. Please know and understand what your limits are. And if for whatever reason you are in any kind of trouble, do not hesitate to call for help. Thank you. This episode was so incredibly funny, I kind of almost forgot how, the A-plot is supposed to be, Morty and Summer at this camp, but you kind of can't help but pay attention to Beth and Jerry also. And they take a drug called High Forever, which, as its name suggests, you're high for a very long time. And now, here's the thing. Beth and Jerry are high, but they have just enough rational thinking where, okay, we need to find a way to come down from this. So they go to a space mall, which is literally a planet that's a mall, and they're trying to find the pharmacy that contains some sort of, I guess, an antidote for this drug, I suppose, but they can't find it. They try getting someone delivered, but apparently the delivery person's really far away. So they finally call Rick, and what do you know? Rick had taken that drug as well. And just everything funny that this is the sort of humor that always gets to me where it's not just the fact that it's stoner comedy, but also the jokes just it's rapid fire happening fast. And meanwhile, Morty and Summer, while they're enjoying this camp that they're at, they can't party forever. They want to go home, and they don't have the stamina that these other kids and aliens do. It's actually really funny. And it leads to some of the best humor in probably in this whole definitely in this season, definitely in the whole show though. Sorry, my eyes itchy, hold on. So the day is saved, I guess. So Morty and Summer go to this one bar asking for a phone call. It turns out the people in that bar want those kids dead, so they can, want to hold their kids ransom, so they can get money because all those kids are rich or whatever. So actually, one of the funnier scenes is Rick is so high he tries to use the portal gun to get to where Beth and Summer are, but it's you just go through and you're just out on the other side in the exact same place. It's great. The humor of this episode was just so good to me, and I grew up in a time when Family Guy was good, so any moment of a character like blowing up or immediately falling to the ground almost as fast as you blink. Like, that stuff's funny to me. And they really had that humor here too. And again, because Rick is high, Morty and Summer have to fend for themselves. And, they do. And, like, the last henchman of, like, the head woman in charge of, like, holding the kids for ransom is shot with, like, hundreds of... I was already shot with an arrow. Why do I keep getting hit with more? Oh, that was great. Yeah, this episode... Again, for me, I find myself laughing the hardest at Rick and Morty when you have, like, jokes happening at a sort of faster quality. Like, Morty, like, for example, in the Morty's Mind Blowers episode, they show a clip of, Rick using this one machine to get a paperclip, and so he, types in paperclip, I guess, turns on the machine, and a whole bunch of paperclips come out, and so, Rick is able to use it. And then Morty immediately uses it. He types in what I can only imagine are redheads named Jessica, and a whole bunch of redheads come flying at the machine, like crashing in. Like, it's that kind of humor that gets to me. I mean, I get why Rick and Morty doesn't usually use that type of humor because, again, Rick and Morty just is that one show that knows how to appeal to everybody's sense of humor in a smart way. Because, I mean, we all know the saying, if you try and satisfy everyone, you're going to wind up satisfying no one. I feel that Dan Harmon and the people behind Rick and Morty understand that, there's a lot of humor if you know where to look. And if you know how to use it, that's even better. But sometimes, you gotta be smart about how you use it. It'd be easy to have, like, one thing be a recurring joke, but after a while, that joke's gonna get stale. I mean, you could use the joke in the beginning of the episode and use it again at the end of the episode if you want. That's fine, if there's, like, some sort of payoff. And there actually is a payoff. Earlier in the episode, as Rick is taking Summer and Beth to the camp, Morty's doing that thing that kids do, where, like, they're sitting in the back and, like, they're kicking the seat, trying to annoy Rick. And at the end of the episode, because Beth, Jerry, and Rick are high, Morty and Beth have no choice but to call Space Beth to get them back home. And it shows everybody all the adults who are high in the back, like, kicking Space Beth's seat. And, I mean, pretty much the whole point of the subplot of Morty and Summer being at that camp was the camp didn't really help them much. At the end of the episode, like, you know what? Mom and Dad acting like this, like, that's how we get back on the straight and narrow. Okay, that works. Actually, Jerry and Beth are in the back, and Rick is also in the back, but like, he's upside down with, like, both of his feet in the air. This episode was just so funny to me. It was. Oh, actually, there's one moment when, like, Rick is high, he's, like, laying on the ground, like, in a matter of, like, 3 seconds, he stands back up, like, pats Jerry on the head, I think gives Jerry, like, a peck on the cheek or something, and then, like, goes back down. Did you see how fast I got up and down? See, to me, when I think of a show that's funny, that makes me laugh out loud, this is the sort of thing I want to see. And again, I know why some people don't care for that. But, you know what, this was exactly what I wanted to watch. And it was it was great. I mean, I really do think that, season 9 has been Rick and Morty's best season so far. And I actually would be worried that with season 10 coming up, that whole deal with 7 seasons, 70 episodes, 10 episodes a season, that's, it's not going to happen. Except I did a little research, and if I can just pull it up real quick. Yeah, in January of 2023, and this is and keep in mind, I just learned about this last night. In January 2023, it was confirmed that that long-term deal, again, 70 episodes over the course of seven seasons, was renewed through the 10th season. But in October of 2024, the show was renewed for 2 more seasons. So we're guaranteed at least a season 12 and 20 more episodes after season 10. Yeah, man. And the best part is, the best part is, it used to be you have to wait a year and a half to 2.5 years before we got a new season of Rick and Morty. We're getting a new season every year. Granted, at least that's what it was in between season 8 and season 9. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to hold. I don't know when season 10 is going to come out. But hey, man, we're guaranteed, by my count, 121 episodes. So, yeah, Rick and Morty fans going to make this episode 100. Hope you like this video. Like, share, YouTube channel, follow social media. As always, I'm very homie. This video for you guys watching your video. We have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to us, we're here to let news back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.